Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another weather forecasting video. We have a lot to go over in this weather forecast, such as the potential for another significant severe thunderstorm risk down in the deep south, the potential for an Arctic invasion with a lot of Arctic air coming into the central and eastern United States, and the potential for another winter storm going into early next week. We'll have all the information you need in just a few minutes. Right now, taking a look at the current satellite imagery, we have a very potent low pressure system. In my previous video, we were talking about this low pressure system. Well, it has finally made landfall in the United States. And it's causing some pretty significant impacts with a lot of snow over in the west central portions of the United States, with severe weather down in the deep south, tornado watches, and a very strong QLCS, very strong squall line of thunderstorms moving through down in portions of Alabama. Let's go and take on the current radar as of 4:26 in the morning, with one tornado warning down over in Mobile, Alabama. This is a radar indicated threat. Very, very strong line of thunderstorms moving through, with winds consistently being around 50 to 60 miles per hour on velocity. But if we go ahead and take a look at the Day 1 Storm Prediction Center outlook, an enhanced risk is out for portions of the southern United States, for South Carolina, North Carolina, portions of Georgia, and over in Florida, with a slight risk accompanying that, and then a marginal risk. This is going to be a wind-driven risk in terms of the big threats across the southern United States. Let's go and take a look at the tornado risk. There's actually a dual 5% risk, and this is also a hatched risk of the possibility of two or more significant EF2 or plus tornadoes. This includes portions of Myrtle Beach, Columbia, Charleston, Jacksonville, down in Tallahassee, Florida, Albany, Georgia. You guys are in the significant risk for the possibility of some significant tornadoes. For the risk of hail, it's only a 5% risk, and this also includes portions of Panama City, Florida, Donathan, Alabama, and portions of South Carolina and North Carolina. If we take a look at the wind, there is a 30% chance of wind. This is going to be a mainly wind-driven risk across the portions of the warned area. Jacksonville, Florida, Gainesville, Florida, Tallahassee, Florida, Pensacola, Florida, portions of Albany, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, and Jacksonville, North Carolina. You guys are all in the risk for a 30% chance or more of seeing some significant wind damage and wind gust across this area. So overall, this is going to be a pretty prime setup in terms of severe weather across the deep south today. Again, an enhanced risk. All right, let's go and take a look at the potential for an Arctic invasion. A lot of Arctic air coming down from Canada. This is the 6 through 10 day temperature outlook. This was issued on January 8th and is valid until January 14th through the 18th. As you can tell, a very, very stout area of well below average temperatures. This is a 90 to 100%, very likely below average temperatures for portions of the Ohio Valley, portions of the central, and portions of the Midwest over in the United States. While if you're over on the western portions of the United States, over in portions of California, over in portions of Nevada, Arizona, and over in Utah, you guys are going to be experiencing a little bit above average temperatures. But basically, for the large chunk of the United States, you guys are going to be experiencing well below average temperatures, especially over in portions of the Midwest, Ohio Valley, portions of Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Mississippi, Missouri, over in Iowa. Just a large chunk of the United States that could be experiencing well below average temperatures. This is very, very well modeled. Let's go and take a look at the 850 temperature anomaly map. Look at all of this cold air over in Canada on Friday. Lot of cold air, and this is going to get dislodged. This is getting dislodged from the polar oscillation, and this is going to be digging down onto Saturday into early Sunday. This is 6 p.m. on Sunday. Look at this, a massive, massive chunk of cold air with around 20 to 30 degrees below normal is going to be going through the portions of the northern plains up in Montana, both of the Dakotas, portions of Nebraska. This is going to be a very, very stout cold air going through the United States. And then look at this. It likes to set up around Monday into Tuesday of next week on the 16th. Very, very cold air with around 20 to around 25 degrees below normal for portions of the central and eastern United States. And then it likes to intensify over the Ohio Valley on the 16th of January. Very, very big, stout cool down for a large chunk of the United States. And then it's just going to stay this way through the foreseeable future for a hot minute. So we are definitely going into some big-time winter temperatures for a large chunk of the United States. And you know what this means? Whenever we have cooler weather coming down into the United States, especially Arctic air, we do have the potential for a big snowstorm, and that's going to impact someone in the United States. Let's go and take a look at that. All right, let's go and take a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly maps. This is a good figure of showing us low pressure systems. So on Thursday, with that Arctic air really starting to dig down up in portions of Canada, look at this. They have a low pressure system centered over in the portions of southern Canada. And this is going to start to dig down on Saturday. Low pressure system or troughing is going to be developing over in portions of the northern plains up in Montana. This is going to go ahead and dig down. And on Sunday into Monday, it looks like we're going to have a low pressure system swing down from portions of Canada over into the United States. And this is going to be on Monday, Monday. This is going to be in conjunction with the Arctic air. So with this low pressure system coming down with portions coming down from Canada, this is going to bring in the potential for an Arctic air blast and also some snow. This low pressure system will be coming down from Canada. Low pressure system. It's going to have cold Arctic air on the backside of this low pressure system. And as this low pressure system goes through the United States, it's going to bring in that Arctic air. So as this low pressure system moves through, the Arctic air is going to void in from the back end of this low pressure system. And depending on how much moisture return we get from the Gulf of Mexico with this low pressure, we could easily see a snowstorm for portions of the Ohio Valley and the Midwest. Definitely 100. There's a good chance of it. And actually, some models are actually showing that. We'll have a look at that in just a few minutes. So yeah, this could definitely be a potential for a snowstorm with the back end Arctic air coming down with a low pressure system. This is a perfect time. System starts to move in. Arctic air starts to move in. They clash. And then boom, you have Arctic weather. Not Arctic weather, winter weather. So, yeah, definitely keep an eye out on this for Tuesday into Wednesday on the 16th of next week. Keep your eyes out if you live over in the Ohio Valley or over in the Midwest. You do not want to miss it. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty interesting weather pattern. All right, let's go and touch up on that winter storm potential for portions of the Ohio Valley into next week. As we progress it into Monday, you can start to see a little bit of some bands of snow. And then you could also see some mixed precipitation down the southern end. And then as we progress it into portions of into late, it's late Monday. Heavy bands of snow accompanying over in portions of western and central portions of Kentucky, over in north and southern portions of Tennessee, while you have some mixed precipitation along a line extending from central Tennessee all the way down into portions of barely northern portions of Alabama. So if you live over in Florence, Alabama, or if you go into central portions of Mississippi. Then you also have some ice, the potential for some ice on the back end over in portions of Mississippi. And then you also have some rain on the very, very southern end of this low pressure system. 1,006 millibar, not that strong of a low pressure system, but still good enough to bring some winter weather across the Ohio Valley. This is going to be it could bring some good amount of snow for portions of Kentucky. Good amount of snow. But then again, this is not a forecast. This is just model guidance. Do not take this for granted. I'm just saying this could easily happen. And the models have been fairly consistent for this. And then again, this could easily pivot and the low pressure system could come up a little bit more north right here with the low pressure system. And then around here, you guys would get some rain while all the snow would be up in the northern portions of the United States. It's way too far out to be saying, yes, this is going to happen. We are just looking at trends. And if this does continue to stay into Friday, into Saturday of this upcoming week, then yes, there's probably a good chance of this happening. But we'll be having to monitor ensemble runs and we'll be having to monitor model trends because I'm not saying this is going to happen. We're just saying this could happen. Let's go and take a look at the temperatures into Friday into Saturday. A large chunk of the United States could be experiencing well below freezing temperatures across a large chunk of the United States. Very, very, very cold temperatures into Tuesday. I don't know if I believe this, but Tuesday says it's going to be -9 over in Peoria, Illinois. I don't know if I believe that. It's going to be -8 over in Paducah, Kentucky. It's going to be -3 over in Indianapolis. 0 over in Little Rock. -1 over in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, I'm not buying this, but it's not going to get this cold, but it gets you an idea of how cold it's going to get. Yeah. Very, very big Arctic air blast is coming in. Severe weather threat for today. Stay safe down in portions of the Carolinas, Georgia, portions of Pensacola, Florida, and just central and northern Georgia, northern Florida, excuse me. Just stay safe throughout there. Stay weather aware. Big time tornado risk and especially a massive wind risk down there. And we also have the potential for an Arctic blast and the potential for a winter storm. So, very, very active weather pattern. This January has been very, very surprising. Very, very active. Anyway, guys, hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night whenever you guys watch this. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Tune in to all my forecasts. They're going to be uploading a lot more on this winter storm and the potential for some severe weather through the next couple days. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next weather forecasting video.